a lot of sense. But I understand what you're saying about a lot of it's been translated and misrepresented, and that's very true. But I think through all that, still it can speak to us in a way that gives us the truth that we need, I think. I
Yeah,
pray.
no,
I
yeah,
hope.
yeah, no, in many ways. And, another one that, comes to mind is when they talk about Jesus comes to the adulteress or whatever, the chick that, whatever, supposedly cheated on her husband or did whatever the hell. And he comes up and he draws a line in the sand. And he
Mm-hmm.
says, thee that has not sinned, cast the first stone.
Yeah.
Well, when I go back and I read that and I look into it and I think about it, well, the guy that pretty much was in charge of that camp, that
Mm-hmm.
village, that
Mm-hmm.
town, whatever you want to call it, him and all of his cronies raped her. And instead of them being shamed for what they did, they wanted her
Mm.
stoned to death. And he knew this and he drew a line in the sand. And I don't think the line in the sand was a line. I think it was him writing all of their names in a line in the sand and saying, "Thee without sin, throw the first stone."
Hmm.
That's how I took that
Yeah.
for me. No, but you know what I mean. But that is the crazy thing is, if people knew and understood or had or even just the debate, whether I'm wrong or right or whether anybody believes that or not, whatever. But just having the debate and talk about it's more interesting than any fucking HBO fucking show you're gonna watch. It,
Sure.
it really is. But
You get a lot
they've
more
done their
from it.
best to make it dumbed down and boring. You know what I mean? When it's the farthest thing from boring ever. I mean, this is what happened. This was the Star Wars. This was the Star Trek. And I'm not saying any of that's real, but I'm just saying this was the biggest epic thing that ever fucking happened in the world. I know I brought up space things, but you know what I mean. But
No,
this is
that's all right.
the
No,
biggest
no, no.
epic
Hey.
thing ever, and we're deciding to forget about it, not think about it, and not even give.
Oh yeah, they're trying to get rid of the Bible altogether. They're
Oh,
trying to get rid
California!
of it.
I live in Cali. Where are you at again, bro?
I'm in Kansas.
Okay, nice.
They're
Fucking
trying to. They're
heartland,
trying to.
baby, heartland.
Yeah, the Tornado Alley. Yeah,
No,
they're trying to get rid of the Bible altogether, man,
well,
and
in
that's the biggest part of
California,
our
no,
history.
in California, and they tried to put it as well. It's if anybody's going to be trying to use the Bible to sell uh conversion therapy, this and that. You know what pissed me off more than anything? I didn't vote about the gay marriage thing, but I did say, you know what? Let them get married. Let them be miserable like everybody else. I didn't vote on it. But you know what I mean? I did just say, in my head, I'm like, let them get fucking married and be
Well, I'll
miserable
tell you
like
what.
everybody else. And now we got trannies doing story time, shaking their fucking non fucking panty wearing fucking glitter ass around fucking 6, 7, 8 year old little fucking children. I have a problem with that.
It's going to make a hard life. They're going to have very, very, very hard lives.
It is
And
so sickening.
okay, hey, here's something. If a man grew up as a man and became a man, matured as a man, and decides he wants to be a woman, maybe that's a form of mental instability. Okay, but at least he made that choice on his own. And
Your
like you were
choice.
saying,
Fine. Yeah.
and like you were saying, what they're doing to children, pumping hormones, pheromones, whatever, taking
Yep.
away pheromones,
Yep.
hormones.
Yep.
That is complete child abuse. It is wrong. They should have their children taken away. They should be put in jail. They shouldn't be enabling that when a child is not able or doesn't have the ability to make their own decisions like that. You're pushing it on them.
And what is so nuts to me too is it's almost like they're completely oblivious, or like they almost or and see, that's the thing. It's like, for me, I have a hard time thinking that anybody can be in the middle of the road, but I do know that the people are just like that. I get that, but for me, I'm like, either you know exactly what you're doing, or you're so fucking stupid it's pathetic. But then I realize it's like, no, 90% of them are in the middle of the fucking road and they don't fucking know two shits. And they just kind of laugh about it, even if they do. And it's like, fuck, man, what can I do to open their eyes? You know what I mean? It's like,
and I think it boils down to that they think they're doing the right thing for one thing, but they're also pleasing man, not God. And
well,
look, I don't want to judge homosexuals or transsexuals. I don't want to judge them at all because I don't know what they go through, and I know it's got to be a hard freaking life for them. But I believe that they're trying to please man more than God in a lot of cases. Maybe I don't know. I really can't speak on it because I don't know. But it scares me for them. I think they're gonna have a hard life.
well, no, it's not even. Well, I think they're actually no, they're having an easy life. They're gonna have a hard afterlife.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean. But who knows? Me and you could still too. Who knows? We never know if we've actually added up. To what he wanted. But that's the one thing that I always laugh when I tell they're like, oh, so you think you're going to heaven and you're saved, and I'm like, no, I'm going to fucking hell. And they're like, what do you mean? Then why are you like this? And why do you do it? I'm like, because if I can even save one person from having to go there with me, I'll be happy and I'll burn in hell with a smile on my face. And people don't get that. No, I know, but you know what I'm saying. Do you get kind of what I'm saying? I don't want to go to hell either. I don't want to go to hell, but whether I'm going to hell or heaven, that isn't going to change who I am.
Sure, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not. And if I've done some shit that I'm going to hell and I knew it, it wouldn't change me from trying to open as many people's eyes. That's the whole thing. And hopefully that will be my savior, but who knows?
Just like you're trying to save other people, there's people that want to save you too, man, that don't want you to.
No, I know. No, I know that, and I've appreciated it because I've come across lots of them. And it's meant a lot because you usually don't recognize them for who they were while they're in your life. It's usually after they're not in your life that you usually end up recognizing them for who they were.
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't know. I've noticed that a lot. I've had a lot of weird old ladies that I've fucking run into throughout the years that are like, just instantly from meeting me, they're like, you're an old soul. I'm like, okay. Like, no, you don't understand. You're an old soul, and that means a lot. And I'm just like, okay, well, what does that mean? And then nothing else. And it's like, wait, what the fuck was that? I've gotten lots of weird things. Just like, what the fuck, man? And that was when I was younger and wasn't, really spiritual a lot. But it was just like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? Why do these old ladies keep saying shit like that to me?
Lady, it would be real nice if you could elaborate on
yeah, exactly. Can I have one question? What the fuck do you mean? Oh, shit. Well, it's funny. I started a new live feed. Doesn't show anybody showed up.
Nobody?
No, it's been going 8 minutes, man. Now, dude, a lot of people. No, I'll let it keep going. But it's funny. I know a lot of people would be here, but it's like people did not get how. Like they're like, leave me a link. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll tell you the name of the video.
I don't know how to do that, man.
No, neither do I. Were you here when I was bullshitting with whoever, and it seemed like they went and tried to do it to some people?
Yeah, it was them.
Yeah, but it was like, fuck, dude, I don't know how to do that. If people can't figure it out, just go and type it in and get here. Like shit. It usually sucks too because when I'm like, a lot of times when I'm done with a video or I'm like, okay, I'm done or I'm gonna go do this, I got to end it. All of a sudden, I just start getting more views. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, they'll be like, okay, you had 6, now you got 8, now you got 9. And it's like, fuck. Like I'm
not ready to end it.
Yeah, like shit. Yeah, that's always funny when that happens.
Oh, a couple people might show up. You give them a hiatus, and some of them are like, man, it's past my bedtime.
No, what is funny is when, people do come on and they're just like, I didn't think I'd find you, but I got on and I decided to see, and here you are. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh shit, nice. It's nice to know when you have people that are like, hey, I'm going to spend a little bit of my free time listening to somebody that I like to listen to, or, somebody that gives me some good information. Because,
Oh, it's
a lot of
entertaining.
my shit usually isn't like this. A lot of my stuff that I'm doing, I'm kind of mirroring and showing other people's videos and other people's research.
Yeah, I'm
Because
watching videos of people
I
talking
know,
about them.
yeah, I know a lot of people do a lot better damn research than I can do. And if I verified them and I think that they're good, I'll put on what they're showing, you know. But that's more than anything what I usually do. And I mean, trying to call it pedophiles is always, a bonus.
Yeah.
Always a fucking bonus.
Man, I'll tell you a video you might want to check out. It was a 3-hour video. This guy was debunking ancient aliens. Doing a beautiful job at it.
Nice. That would be fucking hilarious because I used to
Man,
love that. I'm
I
sure
did
you
too.
did
Yeah,
it.
I
Yeah,
was
I'm
into
sure
it.
you
Yeah.
did at one point too. Yeah, yeah.
And he was just debunking Giorgio Tsoukalos or whatever his name is, the one with the crazy hair and
Yeah,
illegal.
they're all actors. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all actors. Yep. And he was just 3 hour. I didn't watch it all. I haven't watched it all yet, but I watched a good hour of it, and he was just doing a beautiful, beautiful job.
You know what I love is that what the fuck what is the show where they show all the satellite images? You won't believe whatever the hell it is, and they show all that shit, and it is so funny because it's about having the eyes to see. It's about having discernment.
Sure.
There's always a grain of truth in every great lie and every great deception. So the one thing that I love about those shows is, especially because they give you a couple of different alternatives to what it could be, and most of the time they go into all these crazy ass things, and then they show it's just something like farming. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, that was stupid. But every once in a while, they come across something that they actually show that is out there that you might see on Google Earth or this or that. And there are no
Mm-hmm.
satellites. There's only balloons, whatever. But that you might see, and they'll come across and they'll give you a couple of explanations, and a couple of the explanations will have some part truth in it. You know what I'm saying? And then they're sitting there, and what I love is that now that I have the eyes to see when they're showing me that shit, I'm not looking at it and listening to their explanations. I'm looking at it and seeing it for more of what I think that it is compared to anything that they're trying to tell me. So, but I laugh because it's something that they have to smear in front of our faces. They
Mm-hmm.
truly do. There's this guy that I follow that just shows just some crazy shit, and I was like, well, if Atlantis was this, and then just uses Google Earth and shows a spot literally in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean of where it could have been, and then another place that could have been washed out, and if the waters were higher, that it could be up on a part of Africa. You know what I mean? And he's like, this is just looking at Google Earth, and no sign. Like, what the fuck? This doesn't even have a name, and he's showing
Facts.
some shit. You know what I mean? And he's like, this is just me doing a little dicking around for a couple hours. You know what I mean? Just
Well,
looking at shit. And it's like, it's all right there in front of our faces. Not to say that we'll ever know complete truth, but it's right there for us to find. And
it
we're
is.
so dumbed down that we think
This
that we are so minuscule and so stupid that we can't yet learn or find new things. It's,
this is a great tool to put in your toolbox. I know I've mentioned Russian vids many times, but that's because I've been watching a lot of his videos for many years, and he makes great content. But anyways, the tool that I want to give to you, and you can use it and take my advice or not. What he says a lot is truth in entertainment lies in the news. So what they try to pass off as true to us are lies, and you use discernment, you'll find it. And then all the stuff in entertainment, movies, especially shows, not shows necessarily, but a lot of movies and stuff that you watch, you'll find the truth in the movies, and you'll find the lies in entertainment.
yeah, no,
So,
yeah.
so whenever I watch, say, Ancient Aliens, I watch it as entertainment. It's sci-fi to me. But like you said, there's little hidden Easter eggs of truth. if
Yep.
you look for them. But they try to pass off all these structures.
There's pyramids everywhere. There's
That,
pyramids everywhere.
yeah, man could not have done that. That had to have been an alien technology. Man, it's just so blown out
No,
of
it was
proportion.
it was fucking giants or whatever the fuck it is. But then when
Well,
you
I
start
considered
looking
that
at it,
too.
when you start looking at it, they're circuit boards. When you start looking at it, if you they're circuit boards to a point, they're a little bit right on that. But when you start looking at, yeah, what is it, the Great Pyramid, and you know they have the king and the queen chamber and this, and then
Yeah.
underneath, and then they admit that there was a certain kind of it wasn't just water, it was water and something else, not mercury, but whatever, that it would literally pulsate and make energy. Well,
like a power plant.
yeah, like a power plant. And I'm not saying that we could ever understand what that power plant was used for, or this or that, but you even see on the written walls and the inscriptions, you see a motherfucker looking like they're holding a light bulb with a snake in it going to a battery.
Right.
You know, it's like it's right in front of our faces, and that's how they keep us dumbed down, because it's like there was never electricity before, but we'll give you a little bit of a hint that it looks like they might have. You know what I mean? They just keep us so stupid.
They want you to believe that even us, modern, superior humans, compared to the humans of the past, which were very, very smart.
Smarter than us, probably.
Yeah, us modern, superior humans couldn't even do that if we wanted to. Only an alien could have done it. And it's totally ludicrous. You can, us, as small humans, not Nephilim or giants, we can move monolithic structures with ease.
Well, what I laugh about is just the word alien. Because if somebody comes from Mexico, they're an illegal alien.
Right.
Here's the funny thing. So you're talking about that. So anybody that goes to another place where they're not supposed to be, or they're not welcomed, or they're just coming there, even whether they are welcome, they're an alien compared to your land. And that has always gone around, alien. That the word alien has probably been around longer than we can even understand. And I mean, they've just used it now because of the technology that they've gone forward and farther than us with, or just because, you know, the fallen angels, which is probably a little bit of both, whatever it is. But it's always alien, and it's like, man, if we live on a boundless flat plane that continues to go and go and go and all this, if somebody lives in another district or past that ice wall into the next place, because I think there's probably an ice wall after that one, and an ice wall after that one. I think that well, there's a theory that I think about. I'm not saying that I completely believe it, but where the sun comes out of the middle, the North Pole, and comes out and starts to rotate and goes farther and farther, and another one is born after however fucking long. Not to say that I completely believe in it, but I'm not joking. If you want a good, well, you do it as an audiobook like I did, but what is it, the Iron Republic, look that up. That, what I'm talking about isn't in that book, but that is a little bit of it goes into that, not into that part of it, but whatever.
Synopsis.
Yeah, but it is kind of weird, and it would make sense a little bit that it would do that, and that would make a little bit of sense why there would be an ice wall. You know what I mean? If it came up and it literally all of a sudden came out farther and farther and farther, and then in the middle turned into unbearable, too cold, and everything just moved out. I'm not saying I believe that. It's just kind of a crazy thing I've looked into. You'd have to look into it. I did a video on it. I got a couple on it. See, I'm bad. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I don't have my stuff labeled really. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, this is the genre of this, or this is that. I yell at my fucking phone.
Yeah, that's all right.
I yell at my fucking phone and just go with it.
We're definitely on the same page.
What's up? Hey. All right. We got Floyd S. back.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Floyd. I wanted to talk to you about the Coral Castle, because this will help you link up a lot of things too.
I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, I'd like to hear about that.
Have?
No, I haven't. Yeah, I'd like to hear about that.
Okay, the coral castle. It was built by a 5-foot.
Okay. No. I have heard of that, but go ahead. That is a great, yes, I have heard of it. Go ahead.
That's super cool. Well, I just wanted to tell you that the way he constructed it, he was very vague when people would ask how he did it, because they were very large structures and they were raised up very high, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was very simple. People try to overcomplicate everything. That's why people can't get the flat earth, because they overcomplicate everything. They were told everything is a math equation that goes on a blackboard 80 feet high. So anyways, all he used was a block and tackle, a chain hoist to lift everything with a giant tripod.
Yeah, it's gone from whether he used vibrations, this, that, or, but go ahead. Yeah, there's so many theories. So many theories, yes.
And it was just very simple. It's man-made. Everybody overcomplicates everything. That giant, 2-ton door that you could push with ease,
Mm-hmm.
it was a center of gravity issue. He found the center of gravity. He ran a pole through the son of a bee, and there was a truck bearing at the bottom. It sat on a truck bearing with a steel rod through it, and you could push through. And everybody was like, "Oh man, alien intervention!" The door ended up breaking, and they saw the bearing, and they were like, "Dirt." I just think that's cool, because it opens your mind to the fact that we can move monolithic structures. But I also want to say here, they could still be here too. But when they were roaming all around, they could have very easily built the pyramids with ease.
Yeah.
They would have been smart enough. And half descendants of angels, they would have been smart enough. And those structures would have lasted through the flood, through the destruction, and they would be there as a testament to them building something.
Yeah, and one thing that I look at, when you go back to the pyramids and all this, and they say that it, is almost, look at that, they said that, they got to the point to where literally we could not feed them anymore. Us mere humans doing everything that we could not even feed them anymore, to the point to where they're eating us. And this is talked about throughout, Jack and the Beanstalk to in the Bible to, you know what I mean? These are stories passed down.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you wonder, but it's so a fallen angel from Lucifer, this, that, and they're the first ones to teach humans about, herbs, makeup, technology. Are you going to tell me that they didn't come to the technology to build those things to power whatever they wanted to power or what they needed? And that's one of the things where it's like, if you start putting some of the things together, they start really adding up. And that's why I think that the flat earth is that one. Once you hit that, once that fucking middle piece goes in of the flat earth, you see every other lie.
You start reaching for
and then once you see that lie, you can see the next lie, and then you can see the next lie. I truly believe. Go ahead, go ahead.
Well, but isn't it beautiful how all these pieces were scattered, and you and I and many other people that are like-minded, we were all engaging in all these these shapes, stars, all this, and then, like you said, the Earth was paramount, because that was kind of the center thing that everybody said, "Oh, whoa, hold up, that does make sense," and we have been lied to.
And it's the easiest one, but it's what is so disturbing, I think, to flat earthers, and even to people that don't believe it. People that don't believe it think that it is so stupid. People that have come to understand it have been like, it's so easy to prove. Thing that should wake people up, but then at the same time, that shows how smart and how clever the deceiver is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. It's like, dude, you know what? I'm gonna leave this truth. I'm gonna make it so easy for you to find. But even though that you find it, everybody around you will laugh at you and tell you you're a moron. He did a good job. He did a great job. I mean, think about it.
It's against flat earthers, and I want to make a point here. Is say I go to a flat earth video, not necessarily a high viewed one, but a flat Earth video.
Yeah.
The hate comments in the comments section, they're just crazy. Now go to a ball earther video, you'll see a lot of flat Earth comments, but you'll see them just say Earth is flat, and then they'll have a debate and talk about it calmly, not get ugly, not you're a dumb ball tard idiot. I mean, you got those few, of course. There's always
here and there, but
a video about anything, and you even see it in videos
Yes,
that aren't
it
even
is.
related to flat videos. And he'll be like, "This video is so stupid. This is why we got flat tards." And it's like, wow, man, it's on your mind that hard though.
no,
Thinking about it that hard.
it is, and that's because I think that the seed's already been planted and they don't want to admit it. That's why they're so they're so hateful. They're so hateful towards it. But no, I know what you mean, and and I always make joke that people, nobody ever, no flat earther ever goes back to being a glober, but we're getting thousands of globers every day becoming flat earthers.
Yes.
And it's already proven. What was it? Russia, 3% of the population admitted that they believe that the Earth is flat. Well,
admitted.
yeah, exactly. So let's just put it at, and this is without even moving it up. It's probably a lot closer to 10, but you know what I mean.
Maybe.
But just at 3%. So imagine where we're going. You know what I mean? We're growing. We're not shrinking, and that's why they hate us, and that's why they got to go against us, because
shut it down.
Because it's all that thing of like just Hillary Clinton. Well, what does it matter now? Well, bitch, you gave out all of our secrets and you fucking put a whole bunch of people's lives in danger and let them die. You know what I mean? But it's the same thing with flat Earth. Well, what does it matter? Well, it fucking matters because souls are on the line here. I'm sorry, I care about that. I care.
It's fired me up and had me real excited. The past few years, I think I started learning about it in 15, maybe 16, maybe 15 and a half, right in there somewhere. And I've seen it explode. It's exploded just like you're saying, man. I didn't know that about Russia. That's really cool. But I'm sure it's comparable here.
No, and that's the whole thing. I'm so sick of fucking people want to hate Russia. Fuck that, dude. No country and nobody has grown more in Christianity than Russia has done in the last 20 years. Since the Iron Wall went down. Dude, no, I'm not joking, dude. Under Vladimir Putin, I know it sounds kind of crazy and this and that, but he was kind of somewhat president, and then he let the other guy come in, and then he ended up being president again. But under them, Christianity has exploded in Russia because they killed the Orthodox Church. They killed Christianity in fucking Russia because of communism. Because you can't fucking make the people bitch. So what they did was killed Christianity in Russia. Well, guess what? After the Berlin Wall broke down and all that shit and everything changed, they have blown up. There has never been a country in history that has blown up to grow back into Christianity, let alone grow into Christianity. Of course, they already had it there, but it had to be pushed down underground. And now look what has fallen was happening. Now look what happens. We've proven that communism and socialism, all this bullshit, it doesn't work anywhere. And all of a sudden, now that these countries have figured it out, all of a sudden we have these people that are brainwashing our kids and our youth to think that it might be good. That's the whole thing. It's like Russia isn't, when they talk about Gog and Magog that will come for Israel, they talk of this. And what people don't get, it's not Russia. It's fucking Turkey. It's whatever. I have video on it. But it's not Russia. Yeah, yes. But Russia has nothing to do with it. And what is so hilarious, not hilarious, but disturbing is that this is how good these deceivers are, is they're trying to make us worry about Russia when what we need to be worrying about is China for us. You know what I mean? As, us as white Christian males and Americans. that's what we really need to worry about is China, not Russia. That has our Christian values that is not completely stupid. Because hey, we know what fucking Europe has done to itself. They fucking neutered themselves. And they're gonna have to figure it out real quick. Fucking the blockchain, pretty fucking smart. Hungary, Poland, blah blah blah. Very fucking smart. But
Uh-huh.
that's the whole thing. The fucking Europe, the European Union, they've neutered themselves, and we've done it to ourselves. We're about there. I mean, we literally in the next couple of years, whatever we end up happening will be the decision of what the world ends up being. And that's what people don't understand. And that's why they're fighting so hard to have open borders and have all these people come in to vote Democrat because Democrat are for the people. No, they're not. They're the slavers. And nobody even sees it. It's fucking sick.
Well, then I guess it should worry all of us that, yes, this is the devil's playground, the devil's domain. You've seen it. You've seen the
But here's the thing
pentagram
is, hey,
Washington.
God.
Yeah, the pentagram in Washington, the broken cross, all that, the way they built the streets makes a pentagram.
Yeah, sorry, I was just reading a comment.
Pentagram,
Yeah.
excuse me, a broken pentagram, which is supposed to be able to, I believe, conjure demons or
No,
demonic powers.
it's all about conjuring demons. I mean, they even admit it. That's what they're doing at CERN. I mean, they do a fucking Science Channel and History Channel. You know, one thing that I thought was so crazy is I remember where I was at 9/11. Everybody fucking did. I was 17.
Yeah,
I was 17 on my way to fucking work, and we turned back to fuck around. Whatever. But I remember we all of a sudden we had the military channel. Military channel. You remember that went on for about 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden it wasn't the military channel anymore.
Huh? I didn't
Yeah,
realize.
all of a sudden or whatever the fuck. It's like they changed it. But no, it's not like the regular AMC, not like the one that Breaking
Gotcha.
Bad came off of. Um,
Gotcha.
no, it was no, yeah, no, it fucking was. No, it was. It went to that, and then all of a sudden it was that, and then all of a sudden there was another one.
Stay distracted. We got this.
Yeah, no, dude, it's fucking, it's insane. It's like they moved it and they keep changing these things. Just like comedy, and then all of a sudden they're the news.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just, and you see the transition of it, and it happens right in front of your face, and you don't think about it unless you step back and just turn everything off and look at it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. It's
It
funny
looks like
because
news nowadays. It looks like an SNL skit. If that's a fair statement. Chris, begging Chris to do
You
something.
see-
It was a complete joke.
the first time I got in trouble with my YouTube channel, see when the shit happened in Vegas. No, this was the second time. I just got out of YouTube jail and the shit in Vegas happened. So, right when shit happens, there's lots of footage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before they have the chance. So I'd got some of it and I'd sent it to my girl's phone and saved. Whatever the hell happened, I'd sent it to my girl's phone and it wasn't on my phone anymore. And I used my girl's phone and I played it and freaking recorded it. I got 27,000 views
Wow.
in 4 hours.
Wow.
See, and I've done this with many videos where it's like they just blow up and then all of a sudden I get a strike or I get in trouble for it, whether they take down the video or not. But here's the thing think about when Vegas happened. What was that? Year and a half ago?
Yeah. What long?
Maybe almost 2 years ago.
It doesn't feel like it. It feels like more like a year.
Yeah, but it's been over a year since Vegas happened.
Yeah.
But what is funny is when it ends up being 27,000 views in 4 hours, and then all of a sudden cut, and a year later I'm still at 27,000 views for that, and
Right.
I've had a YouTube channel for about a year Videos.
They're not letting it come up on people's
But
feeds.
yeah, and what is so fucking hilarious is I go through. I'm like, damn, I got 700 fucking videos, man. Damn. And I go look through them, and I'm like, and I'm realizing I have some videos that have 7,000, 12,000 views,
Hmm.
and I'm like, start adding it up. Like I said, I'm good at math, and I start adding them up. I'm like, dude, you guys are so stupid. You've made it possible. Other people have seen it or whatever. You've literally given me enough of the numbers just looking through a couple of my videos to show that I should have 200,000 views. You know what I
Right.
mean? Even though that I know it should be million, whatever the hell, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, dude, you don't have video. You know what I mean? You don't have something that gets 27,000 views in 4 hours of being posted, and then a year later not even have one more view. You know what I mean?
No.
And then you see ones that all of a sudden do really good, and then they just stop. It's like, yeah, and it's like, man, but most of society is stupid, and they just go, oh, okay. I mean, this is what we're fighting with. Whatever anybody thinks about Alex Jones, this, that, or the other thing. That motherfucker's red pilled more people than anybody else. Let alone they're trying to fuck him.
To a lot of topics. I mean, he introduced me to the Bohemian Grove.
Mm.
You know, even though he might be a controlled opposition, shield, POS, whatever.
Mhm.
But he introduced me to Bohemian Grove, showing me what ambush journalism was. Yeah, he screams and acts like a maniac and this and that, but some of the stuff you go and look into even without him, and a lot of it turns out to be there's substance to it, and that does happen. So I see what you're saying, and I respect your opinion of him. I just still I'm biased because I take issue with the fact that he is part of them, even though he's doing some good. He's still part of them.
Yeah, I know that, but it is what it is. It's actually proving a lot of truth that most people would never even come to find. And once you start seeing something like that,
Oh
you can
yeah,
actually start working through it. I mean, it is only a stepstone.
yeah, but it's a pretty good stepping stone. Like I said,
It is.
Bohemian Grove, politicians, homosexuality at the Bohemian Grove,
Oh, they're
ordering
fucking,
male
yeah.
prostitutes, women are not allowed there, all these kind of things. I would have never known.
Tried, me almost got arrested, me got talked to. It's like, yeah, whatever. That was nothing. That's just their own cover up. And that is so funny because it's like truthers have been looked at like the most insane people in the fucking world, but then all of a sudden on the History Channel, Discovery Channel, all these channels that are supposed to be telling you truth, all of a sudden are bringing up all these conspiracies. But they go and they show it could be this, it could be that, and then at the end they go, you know what I mean? It was only this.
And pass it off as truth.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where
They don't question us.
I mean,
Then anybody who asks questions deserves a tinfoil hat.
Hitler was the biggest racist in the world, even though that he got his picture taken with Jesse Owens, gave him a freaking gift, and told him, I wish I had more men in my country like you. And then what? Jesse Owens goes home, and what happens? Oh, our president, his boot and his thumb, literally congratulated the man that won the most medals for America. And our own
Yeah, I
president.
remember that. Yeah, when they held the Olympics over
Yeah.
there.
And then, I just kind of wonder, how did Henry Ford sue the U.S. government in the 1950s for blowing up
destroying his factories.
his panzer plants in Germany during World War II? It's like you go back to Great Wars, and trust me, if we're not careful, they're gonna get the next. They're gonna give us the next word.
Oof, oof, oof. It'll be bad. And they'll be sitting up somewhere safe, and everybody's going to get slaughtered.
No,
Potentially.
and that's that's a crazy thing. You go back to the Georgia Guidestones. and they only
I'm not
want
familiar with
five.
the Georgia Guidestones.
You should look into it. I've made some video, but you might be able to go find it. But probably just look it up yourself. No, it is. It's pretty much in like 9 or 10 different lists saying that the world should only have 500 million people, and
Oh wow.
it gives them the designs and the understanding of how to run it and rule it in pretty much like 9 languages. Really weird. Really,
Wow.
it's some Mason bullshit.
Hmm.
It's, but I mean, why would you only want 500 million, a million people, than it is to rule a million people?
Well, sure.
Say if you think of that. So if you're gonna rule a million people and be a tyrant, yeah, that's not gonna be an easy thing. If you just want to kill a million people, pretty fucking easy.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at, and nobody understands it, or wants to acknowledge it.
And they say there's 7 billion people here, 7.5.
I don't believe that. I don't believe it. What I think is so funny is you have Steve Jobs. Why the fuck does Steve Jobs get into vaccinations? That's kind of weird. But he says, "Oh, there's 7 billion people, but in another 20 or 30 years, there's going to be 9 billion. But if we do a really good job with vaccinations and prenatal care, we might be able to curb that by 15 to 20%." And people stand up and clap, and you're like, "Do you not understand what he just said? He's going to make
Yeah.
you." Yeah, it's just and
I
white
think
people.
that's already been done.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
working on it.
Oh no, I know it's done to me, dude. I'm not trying to be a fucking cuck or anything here. I waited till my 19th birthday to have sex because I thought it meant something. Well, in my early 20s, I became a fucking whore. And I banged over 150 fucking broads. I fucking cummed in every single one of them. Never wore a damn fucking condom. Never got a damn fucking disease. And I was with many of girls that many already had kids before. Cummed
Hmm.
inside of them every fucking time. Never had one kid. What's that? Why the fuck is that? Yeah, kind of amazing. Yeah, they sterilize my ass. They
I
fucking
wonder what
sterilize my ass.
I wonder what the percentage is of sterilized men.
Here's the sad thing is what is so sad is when you look at white males, or white couples, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter whether you're white. Western, we'll just call it Western values is pretty much fucking close enough.
Hmm.
We're having 1.7 kids, and then you have
Wow.
Muslims. 1.7 kids per couple. Guess what? That doesn't regenerate the population to even keep it at what it is, because the what it's always been said is you need 2.1 kids is, you know
Mm.
what I mean, what every couple has to have, because
Right.
kids die, this that. Well, when you have all these people that are turning gay and this and that, I think we
Yeah,
need at
that's another
least,
part of it.
I think maybe we might need at least 2.3. But whatever, we're pretty much running around. There are some European countries that are 1.3, 1.4. America is right around 1.7 to 1.9, and we're having all these people that their average is 7.6.
Mm.
Um, do you think any of these places are going to be white in 20 years?
And Africans.
Yeah, well, you look at this on what was it in France? The number one name was Mohammed last year
Hmm.
and the year before it. Think of that. The Mohammed. You're France.
I
I've
think in all the
seen
world.
videos of them literally taking shits to the fountains and in fountains, and then sitting there washing their asses
Well, hell,
in fountains.
I've watched videos of what is it, San Francisco, where they're shitting on the streets. They say it's a filthy,
That's
filthy,
true.
filthy, filthy place, man.
No,
Needles
it's
all
fucking
over the
disgusting.
ground.
No,
Dogs shit
look at
everywhere.
San Francisco. Hey, guess what? You can't have a straw. They'll you can give you a place. Yeah, hi. And you wonder why there's shit and needles everywhere. Imagine that.
Yep.
Fucking insanity. All right, well, I'm gonna go get my ass something to eat. I probably better get my ass to bed too.
Yeah, me too, man. It's like
All right.
4:30, but it was good talking with you, man. You have a
All
good
right,
night.
no, definitely you too, brother. Thanks for finding my new channel.
No problem. I'll talk to you again.
All right, brother. Well, you have a good one, and we'll hit it up again another night.
You too.
All right, later,
Later.
brother. All right. So sorry, I wasn't trying to ignore you. I was just going through all that. Good night, bro. Hey, thank you for being here. Means a lot trying to get other people to find their way here. It'll happen. All right. Well, thank you for being here. Love you. Bye.